Hi, my name is John. I'm an alcoholic. Today is April 4th, and I'm in an airport. Crying for the moon. This very real feeling of inferiority is magnified by his childish sensitivity, and it is the state of affairs which generates in him that insatiable, abnormal craving for self-approval and success in the eyes of the world. Still a child, he cries for the moon, and the moon, it seems, won't have him. The Language of the Heart, page 102. While drinking, I seemed to vacillate between feeling totally invisible and believing I was the center of the universe. Searching for that elusive balance between the two has become a major part of my recovery. The moon I constantly cried for is, in sobriety, rarely full. It shows me instead its many other faces, and there are lessons in them all. True learning is often followed an eclipse, a time of darkness, but with each cycle of my recovery, the light grows stronger and my vision is clearer. God, it's amazing how so many of these strike chords. One of the guys in my morning meeting actually happened to be on a Zoom meeting too, while I was traveling this week. He's got a saying that all alcoholics are just egomaniacs with inferiority complexes, and nothing has hit home quite as closely as that one. It's amazing how over time, and still to this day, I walk into a room and I want to be liked, and at the same time I want to be invisible, which is this weird dichotomy of pay attention to me, but also please leave me alone. And as kind of you go into your addiction, or at least I did, that wanting to be alone, the lack of adoration and want for it kind of went away, but the childish sensitivity, kept me almost locked up inside. It's really interesting. One of the things I'm working on with my counselor right now is just kind of, what are my values, right? What are the things that I value and have valued, and how did those shift in when I was drinking or using, and how do they shift now, and how have they shifted through kind of this process of my recovery? And it was sad. There's some things in there that were very high on my list from personal values that I ignored or was the opposite of. And I'm coming up on 3 months now, and the list has shifted, in a good way. I'm proud of some of the things that are coming to the top. They're, with a divorce and a child not being home, there's obviously things that I value that I'm not near right now, and that's hard. And I think I'm doing the right thing. I've done what I think I needed to do to be a good father to my daughter. But it's going to be a hard year. Every year is hard, but I think this one will be uniquely challenging just because of what's going on. But at the end of the day, if I can take my values instead of walking into a room and saying I want to be liked, I want people to think I'm honest, or committed, or something that matters to me, as opposed to just a blanket statement of I want them to like me. Will keep me from being that puppet we were talking about a couple days ago. Instead of dancing for the proverbial dollar that everyone wants, being true to myself is should help me here. But it is it's a habit I have to break. Thanks again for listening, guys, and looking forward to chatting at the next one.